Hey, you enjoyed these videos? Then make sure to help out by liking the video and hitting the subscribe button below. If we get to 500 likes, then I'll be faster at making the next one. Without further ado, let's start with the video already. There's a few circles in Fear Hunger Termina that are explained by a single book in the game. However, I never understood said book nor I care to understand, so I decided to make a guide on how they work. We have a few spots in the world that are marked like this and like this. These are the Asended Gods, and this one is the All Gods. The Asended Gods are God of Fear Hunger and All-mer, and the All Gods are Gro'goroth, Rher, Sylvian, and Vinushka. Drawing them on the floor will give you +1 affinity, so you can learn skills from them once you sleep or you reach a hexen in the game. Knowing the usage of each of these is very important, so I'll be letting you know first what they do and then where to find such circles. Let's begin with the Ascended Gods. God of Fear and Hunger, use on this circle will allow the player in Fear and Hunger mode and Massive mode difficulty to save whenever they feel like interacting with this statue. Once they do, the statue will break. However, in the difficulty of easier mode, you are allowed to use this statue to save up to 3 times before it fully breaks. These saves do not make the time pass and you can use them freely whenever you want. All-mer, used on this circle, allows the player to make a teleportation portal that will connect itself with other All-mer teleports the player has made, making shortcuts around. In my humble opinion, I'd say the map is not bothersome for me to move around, that it truly needed the All-mer teleports. Then again, I have more than 500 hours in this game, so maybe I'm rather used to the whole moving around and backtracking. Though the swords make it a really good shortcut system once you have it all open up. Plus, you can draw God of Fear and Hunger in every single spot and leave them for whenever you do want to save your game, since you don't have to use it right away. You will find the Ascended Gods circles at the start of the game right in the train after you leave and come back. The 2-story building in Old Town, the best one for Massive mode. Pre-Hebo Bob in the Speakeasy spot, the basement of the church, very important before fighting the hardest one, or Dysmorphia, in Donovan's house right after dealing with Rancid. This one is the most important one for doing any ending since there are no beds nearby. And in the bookstore where there's a very dangerous Bobby. All these I usually use them for God of Fear and Hunger. I don't use teleports, so it's up to you. I made another video showcasing every single skill in the game, so if you want to check it out, here you go. Alright, having covered the easy ones, we shall be moving into the All Gods. Gro'goroth, used on this circle, allows the player to, well, it has no benefit other than sacrificing a teammate or a ghoul to it, so you can increase your affinity +1. You can only sacrifice one ally per circle, so if you draw Gro'goroth, you get +1. Once you sacrifice, you will be at +2 affinity. Then after drawing another circle, you will find yourself at max affinity, which is +3. You can also use blood sacrifice, which does something that I can't show you in this video, but it can be reused over and over again until you get +3 without having to draw Gro'goroth a single time. And again, if you want to know all the skills of the game, make sure to check this video. Rher, used in this circle, allows the player to teleport into the Rher dimension. This is very hard to explain since each one of the places where you can draw it has their own pros and cons, and I should probably go through them once I get to showcasing where they are. So yeah, this one is going to be hard to explain. Sylvian, used on this circle, is the easiest one to explain. You can use it to heal any of your wounds as well as body parts that were missing. Nope, it doesn't heal US legs because that is part of the lore or something. And nope, doesn't heal heroin withdrawal either. But like I said before, heals any body parts, heavy, status effects, and also gives HP and mind to the max. So pretty easy to explain and relaxing to use. I'm not talking about the skill shop. Vinushka, used on this circle, is like Rare, but easier to explain. I will be explaining where to be used as well very soon. But it pretty much grows a tree that will allow you to either get an item or access a specific place in the map that you couldn't before. You will find the All Gods circles in the following places. The abandoned shack near the train, which you will be able to use Rare to get to the top left to get infinite bear traps and booby traps, which is a glitch, but surely why not? You will be able to use Vinushka to access the forest of the game earlier than usual. The mansion of the mayor in Old Town, where you can draw Rare in order to get a few chests and fight Rontiels, or using Vinushka to get access to the basement for a chest and a unique item that slows your agility. The Woodsman house, after refilling them or getting Vault Cutters, you can go to their basement. In here, you can get a party member out of using Rare, and you will get the Pinecone Pig out of using Vinushka. The church has one as well, and this one allows you to draw Rare and fight an optional boss, in which you need a guide for it, the hardest one. Or drawing Vinushka, which allows you to climb and get access to the rooftop of the church. In here you'll find a low tier unique weapon that damages ghosts. That is everything about God circles, and I hope I was able to satiate your curiosity in this. If you want me to cover a specific thing in the near future, please let me know in the comments below. This has been ADarkRaccoon, and I wish you an amazing day. Bye bye. That is everything about God. Hope I was able to satiate. That is everything about God circles, and I hope I was able to satiate. Oh my god, qué terror. Satiate